turnéci. Ty kule.
No, ale je těžký vydržet v tom fixu, uvolnit se
Že to
a dát pár těch loků, no.
Jo, to se zapomněl. No, dobrý. Tak příště.
Visualization is an important part of training when I can't climb, and it's absolutely crucial factor on the competitions. Today I invited Martin Jech, pretty experienced Czech route setter, who set special routes for me, which will be competition style. We'll try to simulate some kind of competition. I'll have 6-minute observation time and then give it a try.
Dnes jsem přijel kvůli tomu, abych postavil nějaké tréninkové cesty pro Adama na kvalifikační závod na olympijské hry, který se koná v Toulouse. Otázka, jestli se mu podaří najít správné řešení. A pak jsem pochopitelně hodně zvědavý, jak si poradí s vrškem, protože to je prostě Brutus.
There is a 6-minute observation time, and during that, I usually am able to remember every move, every handhold, every foot hold, and sometimes even the clips. So during the first minute of the observation, I usually go quickly through the route and try to understand where some of the cruxes are, where the rest points are. So 1 minute is over. So now I go really in detail from one bolt to another and trying to find all the details. This is sometimes a section which I might do with somebody else in a group, or sometimes I do it alone and discuss later in the isolation zone. So I think the first section is kind of sketchy, maybe low percentage, but not so bad. It's important to be concentrated so you don't slip. And I think this volcano is not a good rest, but you can like stop at least mentally and choke up once. And then the climb gets steeper and it will be more powerful.
Před nějakými závody už člověk chce vyladit, chce lézt cesty co nejvíc podobné těm závodům.
So it's still 3 minutes left. I'm like halfway up, and I think from this volcano it gets steeper, more powerful. There's not so many points where to rest, but right below the roof where there are these kind of bubbles, you can wrap it and maybe shake out a little bit again. And then I think you really have to start motoring. I think across the roof it's gonna get quite tough, and then in the upper head wall it's gonna get even harder.
Bude to i o nepříjemných krocích a o takových závodnostech, které prostě ty lezce na těch závodních cestách mají schodit.
I think I kind of remember everything, and I still have 1 minute 20, so I will take advantage of this, trying to remember it again, so I remember everything perfectly. All right, it's over. There are usually many sections that I'm not really sure about how they should be climbed. It's time to discuss with the others what their ideas are. So now we are simulating isolation zone. Let's see how much I can remember. This is the first hold. This one is kind of slopey. This one is kind of slopey. There is a chip here. There is a chip here. There is a volcano. You're going to clip here. And then there is a bad side pull from this part. And I think this is going to be rest. You're gonna have a heel hook here. And then you go, I'm not so sure. There is like some kind of triangle and an underclink, and then this one, and a volcano, and this one. The route looks intense. As I said, I think the first section is kind of like low percentage, but not necessarily super hard. It makes you a little tired. Then the next 6 moves are gonna be quite intense, but I think there is gonna be a little rest in this hold again, right before the roof. And I think in the roof, it starts to be really hard. It's gonna be pumpy and physical as well. And it's really difficult here. And I think here, it's gonna be really hardcore. Resistance. Feeling the rock, its features, with my fingers is the connection. I see climbing as a piece of art that I want to perform. I want to climb up to be able to see the world from above. I want to move freely. No matter what, here in Trentino, I always enjoy the landscape around me. My first vivid memory of Trentino is when I was 7 years old. I always remember the sun, the crystal clear air, the light. I see the mountains of Trentino as impressive faces made of stone that sometimes can look hard, but in a summer day they look friendly and warm. Friendship is possibly the most important thing in life, because no matter what you do, you can't really enjoy life alone. I've never had such a reaction after sending the route. I wanted to cry.
Oh man! Well, you're still strong.
Včera to byl megaboj a bylo to kousek a dneska jsem udělal chybu, že jsem vlastně jako nějak nezačal bojovat, ale nějakou záhadou jsem se dostal přes krax. Really? We will just stay as long as we will want to, and potentially till I send it, but on this project you never know. I still kind of don't know how close I am, because I just can't really imagine how much harder it will get if I will link just a couple of moves below I started. So that's the goal right now. Intermediate goals are more motivating. So even though the route is about 45 meters, it's extremely bouldery. I mean, it's got this heinous boulder problem in the middle of the route. The first part is about 20 meters, 8B, juggy, steep, with lots of knee bars. And the hardest part about this easy part is not to get tired. After a good rest and a knee bar, you're facing Crux 1, V15 8C boulder problem, which could easily be one of the hardest boulder problems that I have ever done. And the crazy thing about this route is that you have to do it in the middle of the route after climbing 20 meters. What makes this boulder problem so special is that even though I tried it so many times, every single time it just felt different, because there is this domino effect. One slight mistake influences the next move and the next move, and then you just keep falling all the time. I feel descending the route is actually quite far still. After a good knee bar, there's one more 8B boulder problem, Crux 2. It's really short, powerful, bad rest, and then Crux 3, 7C plus boulder problem, really good rest, and one more pretty easy but potentially heartbreaking boulder problem, and then there's the anchor in the most vertical part of the cave. The route was still so hard that I had to build a simulation in my own gym so I could try it every day. I was thinking about the route all the time. I was visualizing all the time. I would keep doing campus board, but I would change the exercises only into the ones which I would find useful for the project. So I would basically just stop grabbing small holes, because there are no small holes in the project. All the holes are more or less like slopey or turned into the wrong direction. And that's what makes it hard. Then I realized it would help a lot to have a climbing gym in Flatanger as well.
At the beginning I thought, well, it's like way too much work. But then we got back to Czech Republic and Adam said it would be like so awesome to have it. It took us 6 days to build it, pretty much non-stop. And actually, even before like finishing the whole thing, Adam was already training on it.
The route is extremely bouldery, and it was just much more efficient to warm up on a bouldering wall rather than just doing a couple of routes up in the cave. Klaus became a very important part of the story. Based on his knowledge and watching me on the route, he would just come up with the suggestions that I would never come up with myself.
Really amazing. See? You're touching the rock like this with your toes. I'm trying to help him stay injury-free and helping him to climb his project. He tried to do moves that were just not possible because some muscles are on the fully contraction, and it was not possible to go further on that, but he needed to go further on that. So I had to create ideas how it would be possible to do that move.
Yeah, not to be like this, but like this.
Yeah. See, I can't do it. It's something for you. Muscle memories and the neurological pattern in his head as good as somehow possible.
We cut the route into the tiniest details, so when I was visualizing it, I would visualize with every single muscle which was necessary for each move.
It's always inspiring to see him that he's really focused on his goals. He will do everything every day, in every training session. He sometimes puts too much pressure on himself, and with this helps him his optimism. It's really interesting to see him on the rocks, because when you are there with him, you can see that right after, even 1 minute later after he fails, it's over and he's happy, he's smiling, he's talking to other people. He always stays positive. Sometimes it goes even on my nerves, because I'm more like the realistic person, but he's more like the dreamer, and thanks to that he can do everything what comes in his mind.
Does it feel different to be up there without a rope?
It's obviously like much higher consequence.
People who know a little bit about climbing, they're like, oh, he's totally safe. And then people who really know exactly what he's doing are freaked out.
I've thought about El Cap like for years, and every year I'm like, that's really scary. I'll never be content unless I at least put in the effort. El Cap is the most impressive wall on Earth.
It's 3,200 feet of sheer granite. It's the center of the rock climbing universe.
Obviously, I get interview questions about it all the time. Oh, would you like to do that? And you're like, yes, for sure.
So you have a girlfriend now, I heard.
It was awesome. Pretty much makes life better in every way.
It's really hard for me to grasp why he wants this. But if he doesn't do this stuff, he'd regret it.
Everybody who has made free soloing a big part of their life is dead now.
I haven't been injured in like 7 years. I suddenly start getting injured all the time.
What if something happens? What if I don't see him again?
I could just walk away, but it's like, I don't want to.
I've always been conflicted about shooting a film about free soloing just because it's so dangerous. It's hard to not imagine your friend falling through the frame to his death.
I think when he's free soloing, that's when he feels the most alive, most everything. How can you even think about taking it away from somebody?
No mistakes tomorrow.
Starting to get kind of psyched.
If you're pushing the edge, eventually you find the edge.
I can't believe you guys are actually gonna watch. Hey Jimmy, do you copy? Just started climbing.
It's over now.